Okay, so as we have already discussed in construction, BLDC motor has a stator winding on its stator. That is, stator winding is generally stationary, which is also known as the armature winding. The armature winding of BLDC motor is similar to than that of three-phase induction motor. That means, if you recall the three-phase induction motor stator winding, or simply three-phase synchronous machine stator winding, then that three-phase winding is generally distributed winding. Okay, so there are a number of stator slots on stator periphery, and we generally place three-phase armature winding inside that stator, which is in distributed form. So I think at this moment you are familiar with what is means of concentrated winding and what is means of distributed winding. So basically, winding of any three-phase machine is generally distributed. So that distribution is actually 120 degree in space. So 120 degree space displaced winding is there. So if you recall working of an induction motor, then in that working principle itself, the first statement is, if we excite a three-phase winding or three-phase armature winding or three-phase stator winding of induction motor, which is 120 degree space displaced, by a three-phase supply which is 120 degree time displaced. So I think at this moment you are familiar with what is meaning of 120 degree space displacement and 120 degree time displacement. Okay. So always in the BLDC motor has a armature winding which is similar to than that of the synchronous machine, as well as three-phase asynchronous machine, that is induction and synchronous machine, which is distributed in space by an angle of 120 degree. And we know that when we excite such distributed three-phase winding with the help of three-phase supply, then there will be formation of a three-phase rotating magnetic field. So always after excitation of a three-phase 120 degree space displaced winding with a three-phase AC supply which is 120 degree time displaced, whatever magnetic field which is developed in air gap, that magnetic field is in rotating nature. Okay, such kind of thing is not there in case of single phase induction motor. Therefore single phase induction motor is not self starting, and we generally go for double field revolving theory. So we are not going to or I am not going to explain that particular concepts in detail, because you have already learned that part in AC machine. So only keep in mind, whenever we excite a three-phase winding which is displaced by 120 degree in space by three-phase AC supply which is displaced by 120 degree in time, then whatever magnetic field which is developed inside air gap, that magnetic field is a rotating magnetic field. That means the nature of that magnetic field is rotating magnetic field, and simply if the flux linking with that rotating magnetic field get changes, or if we place a current carrying conductor inside that rotating magnetic field, then that conductor will experiences a force. Because for operation of any motor we generally require that three parameters: there must be magnetic field, there must be current carrying conductor, and third is there should be second is there must be conductor, and that third is there must be current flowing through that particular conductor. So each and every motor which is there, that may be DC, that may be AC, or that may be any special type of motor, the working principle is based on this simple basic principle, that is, whenever current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field, it will experiences a force. So BLDC motor also works on a same principle, but there is a one difference. If you recall construction of BLDC motor, or when I have explained the introductory part of this BLDC motor, in that I have already explained that for working of BLDC motor it is necessary to sense the position of rotor. BLDC motor never runs without the rotor position sensing, so it is required to sense the position of rotor. Also, this particular signal which is received from rotor position sensing element, that signal is generally used to turn on or to trigger the power semiconductor devices which are used in power converter circuit. So a respective phases of BLDC motor, that is respective stator phases of BLDC motors, are generally turned on in a proper sequence, and for turning on that respective stator phases it is necessary to sense the position of a rotor. Therefore along with the stator and rotor, there is along with the BLDC motor, there will be certain rotor positioning sensing should be implemented or should be present along with that BLDC machine. So in modern BLDC motor, these rotor position sensors, which are generally Hall effect sensors, that Hall effect sensors are embedded in BLDC motor itself. So there is no necessity of connecting external rotor position sensing topology or external rotor position sensing devices for the modern BLDC motor. So in that motor construction itself, Hall effect sensors have been embedded, and simply the terminals of that rotor position sensors, that is Hall effect sensors, are brought out for the external connections. Okay. So because we have to connect that particular BLDC motor rotor sensor terminals to the power converter device. That means simple, there is a gate driver circuit, and initially we connect that particular rotor position sensor output to gate driver circuit, and according to position of rotor sense, the particular switching sequence will achieve. That means according to the rotor position sensor output, a particular power semiconductor switch will turn on. So in simple, any BLDC motor consists a motor, rotor position sensors, and third is there is a one power semiconductor converter, which is actually inverter, and basically that inverter is a voltage fed inverter. So input to that inverter is generally DC input, and at output there should be variable frequency AC output. Okay, because inverter generally converts DC into AC. So whatever inverter which is used in case of BLDC or along with BLDC motor, that inverter is generally a voltage fed inverter with a DC input and variable frequency 3-phase AC output. Okay. So let us consider a BLDC motor along with the driver circuit. So this is the stator winding. So motor is of a 3-phase stator winding. So stator winding is indicated with phases R, Y and B. Then there is a rotor position sensing topology or rotor position sensor circuit is used. So here we use 3 Hall effect sensors, and the output of this particular Hall effect sensors is given to gate driver circuits. Okay, so that is, there is a controller. That controller generally initiates the sequence logic, or that controller initiates the gate signals, and this particular gate signal is given to the particular semiconductor switches which is used in a inverter circuit. So BLDC motor is fed with a 3-phase inverter. So that inverter is excited with DC supply, and at output side of that inverter we obtain the variable frequency AC output. Variable frequency AC output. Now according to the sequence by which we turn on these particular switches, so there are 3 switches in upper leg of this inverter, 3 switches in bottom leg of this inverter. So according to the sequence which is generated by this controller, a particular switches will turn on, and only one important thing is a switches are turning on in such a way that stator, all 3 phases of stator winding should carry current. This is one of the important condition which is required for operation of or for working of BLDC motor. So every time we have to turn on a particular set of switches in such a way that after turning on that switches, all 3 phases of stator must carry a current. That means all that 3 phases R, Y, B, that all 3 phases carries current, and whenever that all 3 phases carries current which are displaced by 120 degree in space, then and then only there will be generation of rotating magnetic field. Otherwise there will not be any formation of rotating magnetic field. So out of these 3, if any 2 phases or if single phase carries current, then whatever rotating magnetic field which is developed in air gap, that magnetic field is not in rotating form. So for formation or for generation of rotating magnetic field in air gap, the condition is all 3 phases of stator which are displaced by 120 degree in space must carry 3-phase current. That means must carries current. So accordingly we have to turn on this particular sequence. So the switching sequence which is generated by this controller is in such a way that all 3 phases of stator carries current, that is carries a stator current. So whenever these 3 phases carries stator current, there will be formation of a magnetic field. So that magnetic field is in rotating form, and accordingly there will be formation of a stator magnetic pole. So on stator there is a formation of magnetic pole. That magnetic poles are generally in rotating form. Rotor of BLDC motor is made up of a permanent magnets, So if rotor is made up of permanent magnets, that particular rotor has a permanent magnetic poles. एक बार यदि आपने रोटर कंस्ट्रक्शन कंसिडर किया तो वो परमानेंट मैग्नेट रोटर है. सो इफ परमानेंट मैग्नेट रोटर इज देयर, डेफिनेटली दैट हैज अ परमानेंट मैग्नेटिक पोल, एंड ड्यू टू इंटरेक्शन ऑफ stator magnetic pole which is formed by rotating magnetic field and permanent rotor magnetic pole, the rotor will rotates either in clockwise direction or in counterclockwise direction. Again, the direction of rotation of BLDC motor, that is in forward or clockwise or counterclockwise or backward, that depends upon the way by which we turning on the set of switches. That means if we have to simply reverse the direction of rotation for BLDC motor, simply we have to reverse the switching sequence of power inverter circuit. So inverter circuit के switches का switching sequence reverse करके आपको rotating direction of BLDC motor को reverse करना है. How that is so, we are going to discuss in this working principle. Okay. So this is actual driver circuit for the BLDC motor. So any BLDC motor consists, first one is the inverter, which is actually the three-phase inverter, and that inverter is voltage fed inverter. Now second one is there is a rotor positional sensing system, and according to position of rotor, there will be generation of a switching sequence of these semiconductor switches. Okay. Now at input side of this inverter, that is voltage fed inverter, there is one capacitor. So basically this capacitor is the filtered capacitor. So whatever harmonics which are generated inside the inverter, so to filter out that harmonics, this filtered capacitor is used. Okay. Now if you look towards the connection of these stator phases, then in one vertical leg, one particular phase is connected. So R phase is connected in between S1 and S4. If you consider Y phase is connected in between S2 and S5, whereas B phase is connected in between S3 and S6. So switching sequence is determined by this controller in such a way that either two switches from upper leg and one switch from lower leg. At a time there will be three switches under turning on condition. So out of that three switches, two switches are from upper leg, one switch is from lower leg, or one switch is from upper leg and two switches from lower leg. Okay, so that is actual sequence. So one switch from upper leg, two from lower leg, or two from upper leg, one from lower leg. So at the same time, all three switches of upper leg or all three switches of lower leg that are not under turning on condition, because if that is so, definitely all three phases of this particular stator will not under excitation, or that all three phases should not carry any current if upper leg three switches or lower leg three switches are under turning on condition. So the condition is either we have to turn on one switch from upper leg, two from lower leg, or two from upper leg, one from lower leg. Okay, so accordingly, if we apply switching sequence according to this logic, then and then only this all three phases will carry current. Okay, so how that particular phases will carry current and how this motor will operate, for that purpose we have to discuss the working principle of motor. Okay, so as I have already explained, the BLDC motor is supplied from voltage fed inverter. So the inverter generally converts the DC voltage into variable frequency three phase voltage. Okay, so that is variable frequency voltage. So we generally obtain 4 quadrant operation using this voltage fed inverter. Now I think all of you are familiar with the 4 quadrant operations of inverter, because you have learned this particular inverter circuit in power electronics, that is PEDC subject. Okay, power electronics devices and circuits. Okay, so whatever harmonics which are generated by this inverter, that harmonics are blocked by filter capacitor. So at input side there is a one filtered capacitor, and that filter capacitor is used to block out harmonics or to filter out harmonic. Now the motor is provided with the position sensors. So motor is provided with the position sensors, and the main aim of this position sensing system is to sense the actual position of rotor, and accordingly or according to the rotor position there will be generation of logic sequence for this power semiconductor switches. Okay, so for that purpose there is a requirement of a position sensor, and whatever necessary signal which is required for switching of appropriate power switches, that particular signal is generally given, or that signal is generally generated according to the output of these position sensors or according to the position of rotor. So now how switching is done? So switching is actually done in such a way that all three phases of stator should conduct at a time. So I have already explained this. So we have to achieve switching of these power switches in voltage paid inverter in such a way that all three phases should carry its current. Okay, so if all three phases carries current at a time, then and then only there will be formation of rotating magnetic field. Okay, so now for this purpose we require 180 degree conduction. So basically 180 degree conduction mode, I think 180 degree conduction mode, 120 degree conduction mode for inverter circuit, you are familiar with that particular thing. So in generally BLDC motor inverter is operated under 180 degree conduction mode. Okay, so now due to the distributed nature of a stator winding, that is due to distributed nature of armature winding, whatever MMF which is produced inside the air gap, that MMF is generally in rotating form. So MMF is generally rotating magnetic field, and this particular rotating magnetic field will rotate at a synchronous frequency. Okay, so or at a synchronous speed. So whatever rotating magnetic field which is developed in air gap, that magnetic field is generally due to the distributed nature of armature winding. So as armature winding is 120 degree space displaced, therefore when we excite that winding with the three-phase supply, the magnetic field which is developed inside air gap, that magnetic field is the rotating magnetic field. Okay, now let us initially consider the position of rotor which is shown in figure 3.17a. For this particular position, the switches S1, S5 and S6 are under turn on condition. So now please pay attention. So S1, S5 and S6, these three switches are under on condition. So we consider only one instant of operation, one switching instant, and from this switching instant now we are going to move forward for the further switching instances. So let initially consider S1, S5 and S6 are under turn on condition. Okay. So let's see, write that particular switching sequence over here. So the first switching sequence is S1, S2 and S6. Sorry, S1, S5 and S6. Okay. Now let's see S1, S5 and S6 if that three switches are under on condition. So this is S1. So that means one switch from upper leg and two switches from lower leg. S5 and S6. Now what will be the flow of current? So if S1 is under on condition, for this first vertical leg, R phase winding is connected. R phase stator winding is connected to first vertical leg. So if S1 is under turn on condition, the R phase is connected to positive of supply. R phase is connected to positive side of this DC supply. Okay. So the flow of current is, the current flows through this S1, current will flows through this S1, then that current will flows through the R phase of stator winding. Now at this point current get divided into two equal or two halves, because windings are identical, that are identical windings. So if winding is identical, whatever impedance which is developed by that winding, that impedances are also equal, and whenever the current flows through two parallel connected equal impedances, current get equally divided into two halves. Okay. So this current get divided into two halves. 50% of current flows through this B phase, 50% of current flows through this Y phase. So what will be the path of current flowing through this B phase? So current is divided into two halves, and then 50% part of current flows through this phase B, then that will flows towards negative of supply through switch S6. Whereas remaining 50% current flows through this phase Y, then that will flows towards negative of supply through S5. Okay, so at this particular point again that current is total current I. So if I consider, say this is the total current I, then up to this that current will be I. Now at this point that current get divided, so I by 2 current flows through phase B, I by 2 current flows through phase Y, and again at this negative point or negative bus of voltage fed inverter, that current again get added, and at negative side that total current is I. So due to switching sequence 1, 5, 6, all three stator phases will carry its current in this shown direction, and due to this particular current flowing through this stator, there will be formation of magnetic pole on stator. So whenever there is a formation of rotating magnetic field, that rotating magnetic field results in the formation of stator magnetic poles. So let's consider the magnetic poles. Stator magnetic poles are formed as shown, that is Ns as a upper pole, Ss as a lower pole. So Ns, N suffix S, this is for stator. S suffix S, this is S pole of stator, therefore suffix S is used. Now as there is a north pole at upper side of the stator, rotor is made up of permanent magnets. So let's assume that the permanent magnet rotor poles are S and N. So due to this particular rotor pole, there is a force of attraction between the north pole which is formed on stator and south pole of rotor. And due to this force of attraction, now rotor will move by a 60 degree in clockwise direction. So due to this 60 degree rotation, now the rotor moves by 60 degree and in clockwise direction, and that will attains the position which is shown in figure 3.17b. This is okay. So at this moment, as all three phases, stator phases carries current, therefore there will be formation of magnetic field which is in rotating form. We consider the stator magnetic field is Ns and Ss, which is shown as shown on stator, and due to the force of attraction between this north pole of stator and south pole of rotor, there will be rotation of rotor takes place by 60 degree in forward direction or in clockwise direction, and rotor will attains the position as shown in figure B. So this is for first switching sequence, that is 1, 5, 6. Now when rotor attains position as shown in figure B, this position is sensed by rotor position sensor, and this rotor position sensor now gives controlled signal to the gate driver circuit, which will now turn on the next switching sequence. एक बार एक पर्टिकुलर स्विचिंग सीक्वेंस का वर्किंग कंप्लीट हुआ, दैट मीन्स आफ्टर वन स्विचिंग सीक्वेंस रोटर विल मूव बाय 60 डिग्री. After that, now rotor position sensor will sense this new position of rotor. Rotor rotates by 60 degree. This new position of rotor is sensed by rotor position sensor. That rotor position sensor gives output to the controller, and accordingly controller will generate the next switching sequence. So what will be the next switching sequence? Now in second switching sequence, that means once this particular rotor moves by 60 degree and occupies position which is shown in figure B, switch S2 will turn on and S5 will turn on. S2 switch will turn on, S5 will turn off. Let's see. Now forget about all these things. Now S1 is under on condition. When rotor achieves this particular position, that means for this position, now we generally switch off this S5 and we turn on S2. So S2 will turn on and S5 will switch off. So S6 and S1, that two switches are under on condition. Now what will happen? Now after switching two switches in upper leg, now two windings of stators are now connected to positive of DC supply. So two windings are excited or connected to positive, one winding is connected to negative. So let's see. So for S1 again, if we consider say total current is I, then here that current get divided into two half. I by 2 current flows through this S1, I by 2 current flows through this S2. So in first vertical leg S1, S4, there is a R phase. So R phase carries I by 2 current. In second vertical leg S2, S5, there is a Y phase. So Y phase carries I by 2 magnitude of current. And then these two particular currents get added here, and the total current will flows through B phase. Okay, so total current is B flowing through this B phase. So this current is now I, and that I current continues this path through this S6. Okay, and then that will comes towards negative. So that will be the now closed loop. So again here all three phases will carry its current, but due to this particular switching sequence, now there will be shifting of stator magnetic field in forward direction by 60 degree. Why this is so? Because I have already told that the magnetic field which is developed by stator is rotating magnetic field. So rotating magnetic field meaning is conduction mode is 180 degree conduction mode. So after each switching sequence, there will be shifting of a stator magnetic field by 60 degree in forward direction. Okay, 60 degree in forward direction. So initial position is this. After this particular rotor magnetic field will shift by 60 degree in forward direction, means now NS pole come over here, SS is here. So there is a shifting of 60 degree in forward direction. So shifting of stator magnetic field or stator magnetic pole by 60 degree in forward direction. So for first switching instant S1, S5 and S6, this would be the final position of rotor. This would be the final position of rotor. For next switching instant S1, S2 and S6, this is the position of a stator magnetic field. So due to this stator magnetic field, again there will be interaction of S pole of rotor and NS pole of stator, and that will leads to 60 degree rotation of rotor in forward direction. So here also rotor will rotates in forward direction by 60 degree. Okay. So why these poles are constant? Why these poles are not changes? Rotor poles, because rotor is made up of permanent magnets. So for permanent magnets, poles remains always constant. So position of pole is always constant. So this is S pole, N pole. So that rotor poles always constant. So again rotor moves by 60 degree in forward direction, and that will takes position as shown in figure B. So this is for S1, S2 and S6. Okay, when rotor takes new position as shown in figure 3.18b, again this particular position will be sensed by rotor positioning sensors that will gives to controller. According to that position of rotor, now controller will initiate next switching sequence. Always keep in mind what will be the switching sequence at a one time. Suppose say at first switching sequence what happens? Two lower leg switches are under turn on condition, one upper leg switch is under turn on condition. For first switching sequence 1, 5, 6. For second switching sequence now change is there. Two upper leg switches are under turn on condition, one lower leg switch is under turn on condition, that is 1, 2, 6. Now again at third step what will happen? Two lower leg switches, one upper leg switch. So here S1 should be turn off, S1 should be turn off, and next switch should be turn on. So that next switch is S5, S6, next one is S4. Next one is S4. Okay, so now once the rotor attains this second position, at this moment now there will be a change in switching sequence. So this switching sequence now turn off this S1, S2, S6 both are under turn on condition or on condition, and at the same time we have to turn on third switch, that is S4. Okay, so the first switching sequence is say 1, 5 and 6. After that second switching sequence we generally turn off this 5 and we turn on 2, so S2 and 6. Next switching sequence is 1 should be turn off, 2, 6 are under turning on condition. At the same time we have to turn on third switch, so that is 2, 4 and 6. 2, 4 and 6. Yes, so again apply same logic for 2, 4, 6. So 2 is under turning on condition, 4 is under turn on condition, 6 is under turn on condition. So at this moment only one phase is connected to positive, two phases are connected to negative again. So which phase is connected to positive? So phase Y is connected to positive, RB connected to negative. So current flows through this phase Y, that get divided at this point into current say I by 2. I by 2 current flows through R phase, and that will take return path through this S4. Next I by 2 current flows through this B phase, that will take return path through this S6. Okay, again there will be formation of whatever magnetic field. That magnetic field again shift the stator poles by 60 degree in forward direction due to 180 degree conduction mode. So again stator poles will move in forward direction by 60 degree. So now this will be the position of a new stator poles, NS and SS. Okay, so NS and SS. What will happen? Again there will be the magnetic force of attraction between rotor S pole and stator NS pole. Rotor will rotates in forward direction by 60 degree. So after switching sequence 2, 4, 6, the final position of rotor is as shown in figure B. So this is for rotor movement when S2, S6 and S4 these are under turn on condition. Okay, so this will be the final movement of rotor for 2, 4, 6 or S2, S4 and S6. Again next 4 and 6, these two switches are from lower leg, 2 is from upper leg, Now what will be next switching sequence? We have to keep 2 as it is, 4 as it is, turn off 6, turn on 3. Okay, so next switching sequence would be, next switching sequence is 2 as it is. Okay, 2 as it is, 6 जो initially है उसे turn off करना है, so 6 under turn off condition, 4 also as it is, and from upper leg we have to now switch on third switch, that is switch 3. So now next is 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4, again if you apply logic over here, 2, 3, 4, then 2 is under on, 3 is under on condition, and 4, 2, 3, 4. So again here two phases Y and B that are connected to positive, R is connected to negative. So current divided into I by 2, that will take path from S2, S3, YB respectively. At this point that current get added together and final current flows through, total current I flows through this R phase S4 towards negative. That will again generates rotor magnetic field, stator magnetic field, which is shifted by 60 degree in forward direction, and this particular cycle will continues, so that rotor will rotates in continuous way. Now here BLDC motor always rotates in continuous way. Okay, there is no any stepwise movement, but after 60 degree rotation, the rotor position in sense, and continuously there will be turning on and turning off of power semiconductor switches takes place, so that rotor will continuously moves in either clockwise or in counterclockwise direction. If we have to reverse the direction of rotation for this BLDC motor, then simply we have to reverse the switching sequence. Okay, so let's see how this switching sequence is there. So whatever things which are there here, I have explained that things. Say 156. Okay, so whatever switching sequence which we have now discussed for forward direction or clockwise direction, that switching sequence is 156, then 126. After 126, next one is 246. After that 234. After 234, now switch 2 is under turn off condition, 3-4 is under turning on. Next we have to again switch on 5. So 3, 4 and 5, again 5, 3 same as it is, 4 we have to turn off, and at the same time we have to turn on switch 1. So एक पर्टिकुलर स्विच दो स्विचिंग इंस्टेंट के टाइम टर्निंग ऑन कंडीशन में रहता है. इफ यू ऑब्जर्व दिस पर्टिकुलर स्विचिंग सीक्वेंस, one particular switch is under turning on condition for two different switching cycles, say 1, 5 and 6. So from that you can also easily derive this switching sequence, or you can easily recall this or remember this switching sequence. 1, 5 and 6, 1 remains as it is, 6 remains as it is, next one is 2, 1, 2 and 6. Now 1, 1 it is twice, so definitely now 1 should be turned off, 2 as it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 6, now 2 as it is. Okay, I think, yeah, 1, 5, 6, 1, 2, 6, then 2 as it is, 1 we have to turn on, next 4, that is lower leg, so 2, 4 and 6 also as it is. After this that is 2, 4, 6 we have to turn on 2, so 2 as it is. एक स्विच 3 बार रहता है. ओके, एक्चुअली 2 बार नहीं. आफ्टर ईच स्विच इज रिमेन अंडर टर्निंग ऑन कंडीशन थ्राइस. सो 2 as it is, 4 as it is, 6 now 3 times, that is okay. After this we have to turn on 3. Okay, so 2, 2, 2, so we have to turn off that 2. Okay, then 4, 4, 4 is under on condition, 3 is under on condition, so that is 3, 4 under on condition, next one is 5. So that is 3, 4, 5 and so on. So accordingly we have to turning on this particular sequence, or in this sequence we have to turn on the switches in inverter circuit, so that there will be forward direction or clockwise direction of rotor will achieve. Now for reversing this direction, simply we have to reverse this switching sequence. Okay, so that reversing switching sequence is 1, 2, 6, 1, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5. So ये जो sequence है simply उसे reverse करना है. Okay, so whatever switching sequence is there for forward direction, simply we have to reverse that switching sequence, so that we can achieve reversal of a BLDC motor. Okay, now this logic, switching logic, is generally determined or generally developed by the controller in control scheme. So whatever control scheme which we use, that control scheme is either microprocessor based control scheme, or that may be DSP based control scheme, or that may be sensorless control scheme. This particular switching sequence will develop or switching sequence will generate it, and accordingly the motor will either rotates in forward direction or in backward direction. Okay, but always keep in mind the conduction mode for BLDC motor inverter circuit is 180 degree conduction mode. Therefore there will be moving or movement of rotor by 60 degree, and at every 60 degree movement of rotor, the position of rotor will be sensed by rotor position sensor, and then after 60 degree there will be initiation of next switching sequence. So switching sequence change कब हो रहा है? After each 60 degree the switching sequence will change and we achieve continuous rotation of rotor. Okay, so thus when supply is switched on, the current flows through the armature winding, whose distribution depends upon the position of rotor. As we discussed, depending upon the position of rotor, there will be distribution of current flows through the armature winding and the switching on of devices at the various instances. So we generally take that position of rotor, and accordingly the controller circuit will initiate the switching sequence. So due to interaction between this current and magnetic field, the rotor experiences the torque. So whatever magnetic field which is developed by permanent magnets, and whatever current and magnetic field which is developed due to current flowing through armature winding, there will be torque experienced by the rotor. Okay, so rotor experiences the torque due to interaction between these two magnetic fields. One magnetic field is the field which is developed by permanent magnets on rotor. Second magnetic field is the magnetic field which is under rotating condition, which is developed by the current which is flowing through distributed winding. So armature winding में से जो current flow हो रहा है, that current initiates or that current generates a rotating magnetic field, that is one, which is also termed as a stator magnetic field. Second magnetic field is field which is developed by rotor, that is known as a rotor magnetic field, and due to interaction between these two magnetic fields, the rotor will rotate either in clockwise direction or in counterclockwise direction, which depends upon the position of rotor and the output of rotor position sensors. So according to the rotor position sensors, we generally initiates the switching sequence and according to the required direction of rotation. Now whenever rotor experiences the torque, and if that torque is greater than load torque, then and then only the rotor will rotate or the motor is under rotating condition. See, whenever we connect load on shaft of motor, for any motor, let's say DC motor, induction motor, synchronous motor, or any special purpose motor, there is a certain load connected to shaft of motor. मोटर के shaft के ऊपर ही कुछ load connect किया जाएगा. So that load have some load torque. Whenever torque which is developed by that motor is less than load torque, what will happen? That motor is not able to drive that load. Okay, motor is not able to drive that load. Say for simple example, if one fellow has capacity to carry 10 kg of weight, okay, and if I kept 100 kg of weight on his head, what will happen? That fellow is not able to handle that 100 or carry that 100 kg of weight. So if we keep weight which is less than 10 kg or maybe equal to 10 kg, at that time that fellow will able to carry that particular weight. Okay, अरे कोई बंदा है उसका कैपेसिटी है 10 kg वेट कैरी करने का, तो उसके माथे के ऊपर आपने 100 kg का वेट रखा तो क्या होगा? डेफिनेटली वो बंदा कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. ओके, सो यदि आपने उसे 10 kg या 10 kg से कम वेट दिया तो डेफिनेटली वो कैरी कर सकता है. इन दैट वे सेम लॉजिक इज हियर. I think same logic is there for speed of any motor also. So for any motor, the motor speed basically depends upon load which is connected on that motor. So if we increase that load, definitely there will be fall in speed. Again there is a condition mark. That condition mark is some motors has constant speed. From no load to full load, certain motors have constant speed. There is no any considerable variation in speed from no load condition to full load condition. But generally the motor speed falls or motor speed decreases according to the increment in load. So as load increases, there will be fall in speed for certain motors. Okay, same logic is there. When we increase load, speed will be decreases. Okay, so here also the condition for operation of motor or condition of rotation of rotor is whenever load torque is equal to torque which is developed by motor at that time motor will tends to rotate, or if load torque is less than torque developed by motor, then and then only there will be rotation of BLDC motor takes place or rotor takes place. So whenever the load torque is equal to, or if torque which is developed by motor is greater than load torque, the motor will rotate. Load torque and motor torque, if that torques are equal, then that is actually equilibrium condition. Okay, in drives and control you will learn that equilibrium condition also. Okay, there is 4 quadrant operation, and in that 4 quadrant operation you will easily understand what is equilibrium condition. Okay, so when the torque developed by motor is greater than load torque, then and then only there will be rotation of rotor takes place. So if the torque developed by motor is greater than load torque, rotor starts moving. Therefore the BLDC motor is also a self-starting motor. Simply when we excite a 3-phase winding of BLDC motor through voltage fed inverter, motor will start or motor will rotate without any auxiliary mean. So there is no any requirement of auxiliary mean to start that motor. I think in synchronous motor झाले ना. Okay, so in synchronous motor, if you recall, synchronous motor is not a self-starting machine. It requires certain auxiliary mean to start that particular synchronous motor. That may be damper winding, that may be any auxiliary motor like a DC motor or induction motor, so on. But such case is not there in case of BLDC. BLDC is a self-starting motor similar to 3-phase induction motor. 3-phase induction motor. Okay, again single-phase induction motor is also not self-starting. This is very famous question for interviews and oral. Which motors are generally self-starting? Single-phase motor is not a self-starting. To make that motor self-starting, we generally use certain auxiliary mean. That auxiliary mean is either in terms of capacitor, that may be in terms of split windings, that may be in terms of split inductive winding. Either split inductive, external capacitor is there, capacitor start, capacitor run, capacitor start, induction run, induction start, induction run. I think you are familiar with that. Okay, or shaded pole motors are there. So anyhow we have to make certain constructional changes in that single phase induction motor so that that motor will be self-starting. But such thing is not there in case of BLDC. In simple, keep in mind the motor in which stator magnetic field is the rotating, 3-phase rotating, that motor will be self-starting. That motor will be self-starting. For synchronous motor there is one clause. Synchronous motor is a self-starting motor, but when synchronous motor starts, that acts as an induction motor. Synchronous motor is similar to induction motor. When we start that synchronous motor, that works as an induction motor. We have to broad rotor speed to synchronous speed. Okay, so I think in synchronous machine you have learned that particular concept. Synchronous motor either runs at synchronous speed or not at all. That one famous statement is there regarding to synchronous motor. So it will runs at a synchronous speed. Otherwise, if that runs below synchronous speed, that will not act as an synchronous motor, that will act as an induction motor. So synchronous motor को start कैसे करते हैं? Okay, actually this is out of this BLDC part, but we excite stator winding, then we drive that rotor with a speed equal to synchronous speed of that rotor. So if synchronous motor is 4-phase or 4-pole motor, what will be the synchronous speed? If synchronous motor is 4-pole motor, 4-pole 50 Hz, 3-phase 440 volt synchronous motor, what will be the synchronous speed? What will be the synchronous speed? How we calculate synchronous speed? 120 F divided by P, where F is the frequency, P is the number of poles. So 120 F, 120 into 50 divided by P, 4-pole 1500. 1500, 4-pole 1500, 2-pole 3000, 8-pole 750. A standard है. Okay, so 4-pole motor 1500. So when we start that synchronous motor, which synchronous speed is 1500, initially we have to broad rotor at a 1500 RPM with the help of some auxiliary mean. So generally we use some auxiliary motor, we drive that rotor of synchronous motor at a speed of 1500 RPM. Once that rotor now rotates at 1500 RPM, we excite field winding. we excite field winding. That means actually that excite field winding is nothing but the excitation. In electrical terminologies, we provide excitation to field winding. Once we excite field winding, there will be magnetic locking between stator pole and rotor takes place, and then after rotor will moves or rotor will rotates continuously at a synchronous speed. सिंक्रोनसची प्रॅक्टिकल झालेली नाही आहे. ओके, आता वेळ काढा, सिंक्रोनसची प्रॅक्टिकल घेतो. ओके, सो I will explain that how synchronous motor actually start. We will conduct that particular practical. Okay, so as per your timing, tell me, I will take that practical session. Okay, so here कहाँ से गए हम? Self starting. Yeah, so the motor is self starting. BLDC motor is a self starting, that is similar to 3-phase induction motor. Okay, now again, BLDC motor is one of the DC motor which works on 3-phase. सप्लाई जो है वो 3-phase है, लेकिन दैट इज एक्चुअली डीसी मोटर. सो इफ द आर्मेचर और इफ रोटर रोटेट्स, there will be certain amount of EMF get induced inside the armature winding, and the EMF which is induced inside the armature winding, that is in opposite direction to that of terminal voltage. So whatever EMF which is induced inside the armature winding, which is in opposite direction to that of the terminal voltage, is generally known as the back EMF in case of DC machine. So same type of opposition or opposite EMF is generated inside the BLDC motor, and due to this particular back EMF, there will be momentary change in torque and speed will occur. So whatever change in torque is there or whatever change in speed is there, that change in torque and change in speed is due to the back EMF which is developed inside the armature winding. So always keep in mind, in case of BLDC motor also, similar type of back EMF will induced inside the armature as to the DC machine, and this back EMF is in always opposite direction to the terminal voltage, and due to this back EMF, the variation or momentary change in torque and speed will occur. Okay, so due to this back EMF or due to the momentary change in torque and speed, the armature will draws more current, and that will increase torque, and then speed returns to the same value. That is again why or how we achieve same speed. So if there is an increment in torque, that increment in torque is due to the current which is flowing through armature. So if load torque increases, what will be the flow? See, if load torque increases, definitely there will be fall in speed. So if speed decreases, say if torque increases, speed decreases. If speed decreases, back EMF is proportional to speed. So back EMF is in conventional DC motor, back EMF is equal to EB is equal to P phi Zn divided by 60 times A. P phi Zn divided by 60 A is the back EMF. So back EMF is proportional to speed. So EB is proportional to speed. So if speed decreases, EB also decreases. If EB decreases, armature current increases, because armature current is V minus back EMF divided by impedance. V minus back EMF divided by impedance. So if speed decreases, armature current increases. Therefore, due to increment in this load torque, if load torque increases, that results in increase in armature current. Okay, so if load torque increases, armature current will increases. Okay, so the armature current increases means armature draws more current, and that will increases the torque, and due to this increment in torque, again speed will return to the same value. Why this is so? Torque and speed relation, conventional torque equation, 9.55 divided by P upon N. 9.55, any basic torque equation is 9.55 divided by power into M. So whenever we deals with the armature torque, this P is the power developed inside armature. whenever we deals with the shaft torque, this P is the power which is available at shaft. P is the power which is available at shaft. Okay, so always there is a inverse proportion between torque and speed. Torque and speed. So if torque increases, speed will decreases. Okay, so that will be the relation between these various terminologies. That is for every machine or for every motor, the same logic is there. Okay. So how this torque increases? So torque generally increases in this way. Torque increases, speed falls, EB falls, IA increases, torque again increases. That means this particular torque developed by motor is increases due to increment in IA, because torque and IA there is a direct proportion. DC मशीन के बेसिक टॉर्क इक्वेशन यदि रिकॉल किया तो टॉर्क और IA के बीच में डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शन है. टॉर्क इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू phi into IA. Okay, so phi is the flux, IA is the armature current. So T is proportional to phi into IA. So if IA increases, torque will also increases. Okay, so if we increase the load torque increase किया तो definitely torque which is developed by that motor must be increases, and this motor torque will increase in this way. So to increase this motor torque, motor will draw a larger value of current from supply. So same thing is there in case of BLDC also. When we increase load torque, to meet that load torque, the motor will draw a larger value of current from supply. So that means the current drawn by motor from supply is increases. Okay, so in this way the BLDC motor will work. Okay, yes.